Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. I'm doing this Mordu's Headhunter mission right here, and I just finished it actually. I've cleared the spawns that are required to complete the mission. But what has happened here is actually, I was just thinking about something to discuss with you guys. It's actually quite important right now when it comes to missions, and that is that actually some people on the EVE Online Reddit have actually been talking about potential nerfs to Mission LP. So you guys don't know, missions mainly give their ISK from Mission LP. So we can see here this mission right here. It's got these LP right here. This LP can be converted to items that can be sold for ISK for some nice dank ISK. The only thing is, when it comes to this LP, someone on the EVE Online Reddit saw that they had actually, how do you say, they like went on the test server, and then they saw that they had reduced the LP by like 90%. So instead of like 8,000, it gave like 800 LP or something like that. Like really crazy little LP. And that actually is something that worried me for a second. Until someone from CCP said that, oh yeah, you know what guys, this is actually a bug, don't worry. And then, but this is the thing that I think that you guys really need to chill, okay? You need to chill, because they said that it's a bug. But people still make crying on the EVE Online Reddit that there's still going to be nerfs to missions. They're making these massive essays about this, like, oh, this is for this reason, like as if they're writing their thesis. the why it's bad to nerf Mission LP, and I think it is bad to nerf Mission LP because that'll be crap. On the other hand, I do understand to some extent because nullsec rating is being whipped so hard by nerfs recently that I can kind of understand that they would nerf Mission LP, but I really don't want that to happen because missions don't give a crazy amount of ISK unless you count burner missions, and it will be very unfortunate to just see them just remove all that LP right there. It will be very unfortunate in my opinion. So what I'm trying to say is, don't jump to conclusions like this, because people saw that, oh, there's Mission LP has been nerfed. Oh, well, CCP, what are you doing? But then just like a few hours later, CCP was left a message on this like Reddit thread saying that, yeah, you know what, guys, this is just a bug. Don't worry. And then people still posting things afterwards. And I went myself, tested on the test server just to see that like anything was changed. And it was back to normal. So guys, just relax, okay? Don't jump to these conclusions and write these massive essays about these things that is not even confirmed to be a change. What I think is an important thing when you see like strange stuff like this is just to always make sure that like it is confirmed by CCP. Like for example, those drone aggression changes, they were clearly indicated by CCP. You saw that big news post, everyone raging about them, including myself. I raged a lot. I'm very salty about that, but you know, that's what's going to do. It's CCP's game. They decide what they want to do. But I'm quite salty about that, to be honest. I'm a bigger drone guy. You know, I like to use my drones with the Gila and the Abyss. The T5 rooms are going to be big problems. It's going to be very rough for me in the Abyss now. But on the other hand, I didn't use drones a whole lot for missions, so that was alright. But then when I saw this mission, like potential mission, I was like, what? They're going to nerf missions next? But it sounds like they're just jumping to conclusions. Okay, just don't worry, guys. Please relax. Okay, relax. Don't need to go crazy if something looks off on the test server. That's the thing. The test server is to test stuff. Now, you could actually make the argument that, okay, maybe they're testing this. CCP wants to test this to see how, to test a potential mission nerf. And that's perfectly fine. But if CCP are not saying that this is going to be a thing, then I don't think people should worry. And I think a lot of a reason why people were getting very riled, angry about this, like all the pitchforks were drawn out, is because, you know, recently CCP has been doing a lot of nerfs to just everything. Everything just being hit with the nerf bat. You know, ratting, drone aggression, all these different ESS things, you know, that kind of stuff. And then you got all these abyssal, like even before, like this is a bit older, but like earlier this year to like late last year, the abyssal stuff, because they changed like the resistance profile of some modules, so it was quite a bit harder to run abyss. A lot of stuff is getting hit with the nerf bat, and it's pretty, like, it seemed pretty natural that the missions were next on the menu, but luckily it doesn't seem like it's that way. And that's something I'm very glad about, because I like doing missions as a side activity from abyssal stuff, and if it was to get nerfed, where it's already not as good as my Abyss stuff. Then if it gets nerfed even more, it's like, what the heck, man? Why am I even wasting my time with this like 1.5 bill ship right here, and then doing these crappy missions that do, well, not crappy, some of them are actually quite good, but you know, doing these missions that give like income that's like 1/100th of this value of this ship, and then that to get nerfed even more, that would be very unfortunate, and I would get very annoyed by that. But it doesn't seem like it's going to happen, so there's nothing to worry about. As long as we don't see any of these news posts by CCP, or we do not see any official word about this by CCP, I don't think anyone needs to worry. I noticed there's a lot of people, they have a lot of free time on their hands, a lot of energy to spend on writing these massive text posts. But it's really, guys, just don't worry, okay? It's going to be good, it's going to be good. It didn't turn out good for the nullsec runners, so I hope it doesn't go the same way for the mission runners. Let's say hypothetically they were to nerf the mission income. I can imagine a lot more people will be in high sec. I feel a lot of these updates recently have been kind of promoting even high sec. You know, the ore changes made it so that Veldspar and a few, I think, wasn't it Veldspar and some other ore? I'm not a big miner guy, sorry. But there are a few ores that they made exclusive to high sec. I know Veldspar at least is one of them. So this made it so that, as far as I understand, a lot of like null sec players kind of got their like some fleets to high sec or something, so that they could kind of like put their foot down and take control over the mining asteroid fields or asteroid belts in high sec, so they can get access to the Veldspar, because it's quite important. It's needed for almost everything Veldspar. So if they were to nerf missions the same way they've done, like, you know, these mining or these, like, you know, asteroid ore spawning, I can imagine there would be a lot more of these people who would normally be ratting in you know, nullsec. They would probably go to high sec. Maybe that's what I theorize. Also, I can see a lot more people doing the Abyss actually, because this is also something I've noticed. A lot of these filaments, they've been starting to go up in price, and you know, we've got all these things with like nullsec ratting. Both has been nerfed in multiple ways. Not just that the ESS thing makes it more risky, but also that we get the drone changes, and then if the, you know, mining stuff is also changed, mining is not as good as before. This will maybe make it so that more people will be doing Abyss, because Abyss is still an activity you can do everywhere. You could do it in nullsec as well. The only thing I don't really like about doing Abyss stuff is that abyssal dead space is quite risky in nullsec. If I've noticed that there are a lot of fleets who just go by and they just do a very like broad core probe scanner, like or the combat scanner probe, just to be able to find any abyssal trace. And as soon as they find abyssal trace, it doesn't matter what tier, as soon as they find one trace, they just camp outside it with a couple of heavy assault cruisers or whatever. They're just going to kill anyone who's in there. It's just a guaranteed kill, basically. So it's quite risky to do that there, but I can still see that a lot of people are going to start going to the Abyss, and that actually makes a lot of sense, because a lot of these filaments have been going down in price. And also I've noticed that loot has kind of not been going up. It's not been going down, at least last time I checked. Maybe it has gone down, but last time I checked, it was not like on the way up. It was kind of on the way down. So I think that it's going to like the spread of ISK making activities is going to change actually now, and I can definitely see more people doing mission running. But then if they nerf missioning as well, that's maybe going to funnel in more people to the abyssal dead space sites. It'll be interesting to see at least what unfolds, but hopefully missions are not nerfed. I don't think it's going to be nerfed. I don't see it being a possibility right now. Missions are already not that great as an ISK making activity, unless you count in burners, which is a really good ISK making activity, but they're really hard to do. Burner missions, you need expensive ships to be able to do that. It's not like a cheap thing where you can just slap together like a Tech 1 battleship and just do the burners like the standard L4 missions. Also, the burners have like a relatively high skill requirement. Like, what I mean is you need to train a lot of skills, and also you have to be like kind of present. It's a very un-AFK activity unless you got like really expensive ships, because I've seen like you can just, if you miss to, for example, overheat one module, you could potentially lose quite an expensive ship there. What I'm trying to say is it's not like an extremely easy activity to get into, at least as far as I understand. And if it does get nerfed, that'll kind of be counterintuitive, because it seems like it ought to be a profitable activity because of how it is pretty difficult to get into, and that will be very unfortunate if they do nerf it. But again, it's not going to get nerfed, at least in the near future, at least as far as I can tell now, it's not going to get nerfed. According to CCP, it's not going to get nerfed. So there's nothing to worry about, guys. And I just finished this mission right here, and I also think that I finished talking about this topic right here. People going crazy on the EVE Online Reddit need to chill. You guys need to chill, okay? Chill, chill, chill. Don't get an aneurysm and get cerebral hemorrhage from these these like small adjustments on the test server. It's the test server. People are just testing stuff. The CCP is just testing stuff, and it's been confirmed by CCP that this is not going to happen. So it's all right, guys. It's all right, guys. I think that's enough for now. I hope you enjoyed this video right here. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.